Nigerians have decried the budgetary allocation to human capacity development in the 2024 budget signed by President Bola Tinubu, saying efforts must be geared towards reducing unemployment and Japa syndrome. A cross-section of respondents spoke with Galaxy Television News on sectoral allocation, said the budgetary provision for education and health are grossly inadequate. Correspondent Kunle Ojo completes the report.
President Bola Ahmed Tinubu on Monday signed the 28.7 trillion naira appropriation bill to law to maintain the January to December budget cycle. In the budget, the Ministry of Works as well as the Ministry of Agriculture and Food Security received the highest capital budgetary allocations. Breakdown of the budgetary allocations showed that the Ministry of Works gets 892.461 billion naira, followed by Ministry of Agriculture and Food Security with 857.148 billion naira. The Ministry of Health and Social Welfare gets 485.557 billion naira, Ministry of Finance 463.070 billion naira, while Ministry of Education gets 417.579 billion naira for the year ending 31st December 2024. Further breakdown showed that the sum of 339.287 billion naira is for the Ministry of Defense, 309.356 billion naira for Ministry of Innovation, Science and Technology, 241.252 billion naira for Water Resources and Sanitation Ministry, 166.113 billion naira for Ministry of Industry, Trade and Investment. Also, 165.843 billion naira is for housing and urban development, 146.888 billion naira for Ministry of Power, 121.224 billion naira for Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs and Poverty Alleviation, while 91.175 billion naira is for the Ministry of Transportation, among others. Some Nigerians reviewed these allocations and how it will translate to sustainable development.
From the outlook, it still remains a deficit budget where our revenue is less than the budget proposed. And unfortunately, I don't know, the Senate in their own wisdom again, they increased the budget from 27.5 to 28.2. Knowing that it's a deficit budget, I don't think this one should actually be done to that budget.
The budget does not reflect the actual situation in the country as at this time. For example, the money that is allocated to health and education, they are too small, in my opinion, because those are the bedrock of any good society, education and health. I understand why the money allocated to security is 12.5%. Although we are not fighting any external aggression, though we have internal war, which they should have finished long time ago, it appears they are using this internal problem, the bandits, the Boko Harams and the terrorists, they are using it as an excuse to appropriate money into Ministry of Defense.
In the allocation, the capital budget is nearly competing with the overhead. Will the administration be able to pull this through, especially with the high demand for infrastructural development across the country?
Based on the budget, like I said, they call it budget of renewed hope. I've not seen any hope in that budget, where the capital expenditure and the overhead or the recurrent, they are competing. It's almost 50-50. I don't know what we want to achieve with that. You are talking of job creation, you are talking of infrastructural development, you are talking of, look at infrastructure, just 1.2 trillion, which is 5%.
I think the this go. But what they will do, in my opinion, is there will be supplementary budget at the end of it. That's what they do every year. They will supplement the budget because the capital allocation and the overhead. I don't see this. Like you already said, this is the first time that we see something like that. It's unprecedented, and they are coming with something. Maybe in the next 3 or 4 months they will be talking of a supplementary budget, because I don't see how this budget will fix the problem that is bedeviling this country.
Respondents further spoke on their expectations from the Tinubu's administration with the acronym of the renewed hope for Nigerians.
Unfortunately, with this type of budget presentation that has been assented to, the bill that has become a law, there is no magic that can be performed. If they have 20 types of masquerade, they will continue to turn into human beings. Any magic with this. They are promoting consumption. Inflation cannot come down with this.
Initially, when President Bola Ahmed Tinubu came to power, I said I will give him 6 months to see whether he can fix things. But 6 months has now passed. Things are getting worse. Yeah, only him know what he's thinking now. Because I believe there must be a positive change. We have not seen that. It's getting worse. But I'm believing that he has a master plan, that things will change. That's belief, that's my faith, that things will change, because it must not continue like this. If it continues like this, then there is no hope.
The more make sure it is implemented in the same way. It's not that you come to the drawing board, you put something on the sky and we applaud it. At the end of it all, we don't see the effect in the lives of the people. Whatever you do, whatever name you call it, whatever in grammar you put on it, in as much it does not help people, it is nothing. They should make sure live what's living for the people.
We are changing ourselves. I think the government should focus on what? On the economy, on the local economy. How do we do that? It must fix insecurity. The security challenge must be addressed first, because nobody wants to put his money in an environment that is not secure. For instance, we have the report of killing, the massacre and the carnage on the plateau. Such a thing will not encourage any investor. Let the government encourage what? And let the government invest and show political will on the security sector.
It is expected that the government put in place appropriate measures for proper monitoring and implementation of the budget for expected socio-economic growth and development in Nigeria.